those things when it is on your throwing hand, it's the hand that also takes the snap, and you have constant reminders.
That's David Patton taking the second half kickoff. Right now, let's send you down to Susie Colbert.
Pat, I talked to Jim Fossil, asked him if he was satisfied if the Giants are playing like this is a must-win game. He said absolutely, they're playing very hard. He was very happy with the way they were playing, but of course they have a whole nother half to go. And as for both quarterbacks maybe struggling a bit with the ball, I asked Danny Cannell if the ball was slippery. He said yes, very slippery. It's very hard to throw. Back to you.
Thanks, Susie, and it is very wet. The field is very wet, although it's not raining at the moment. Here's Cannell, gives off to Gary Brown, and Brown out to about the Giant 30. Score tied 6-6 as we're in the opening seconds of the second half.
Well, you know, Susie was talking about how Jim Fossil wanted his team to play like it's a championship game. I mean, he feels if they don't beat the Cowboys today, they're really not going to be in a division championship race. And he wanted that sense of urgency from all the areas, and I have the feeling, and he has the feeling, that he's getting it.
That's Brown again, up shy of the 30, about 2 shy of a first down. You know, they keep talking about the slippery ball, and the field's been wet, is wet, got wet on Friday night. They covered it, never had a chance to get dry. But the ball itself shouldn't be wet.
No, that's the thing that I was bringing up, that I don't know how, unless the center, when he gets over the ball, pushes the ball down into the carpet, and then the water comes up on the ball. But the ball, there's no reason that the ball should be wet. But for some reason, like Danny Cannell said, the ball is slippery, and it looks like it's slippery.
Well, aren't they supposed to, if the balls are wet like this, aren't they supposed to have backup sacks of balls on both sides?
Yeah, they do. They have 36 balls, 36 footballs for every game. They use 18 brand new balls for the first half, 18 brand new balls for the second half. So if these balls are slippery, I think it's because they're brand new balls rather than wet, because I don't see anywhere where that ball is wet or getting wet.
I wonder if the center is going to turn it over now.
Well, that'll be interesting if the center turns it over like he does, but now when he pushes it down, does it get wet?
Yeah. Brown in an attempt to get the first down, and he's very close.
And this is the big thing, I think, for the Giants is you see they get in that 3rd and 1 or 2 where they can pick up these 3rd down conversions, and you know where they don't have that 3rd and long.
So they'll move the sticks. 1st and 10 Giants, opening seconds of quarter number 3. The score tied at 6.
Just like a kind of a run scrimmage. Yeah. You don't have the feeling that either team is going to open up or really wants to open it up.
Here's Cannell on a roll. And taken down from behind by Kavika Pittman.
That's what speed does. You know, Kavika Pittman isn't a great defensive end. He's not a great pass rusher, but he can do this. He can run. And you see the bootleg here. Now watch Kavika Pittman here. He just runs right down the line of scrimmage, and he intersects Danny Cannell. That's the thing. When a defensive lineman can run, he's not going to be fooled by this. That's the old bootleg. Remember where you would fake and then put the ball on your hip, and then you would bootleg it around the end? That's what Cannell did, but it didn't fool Kavika Pittman.
3 wide receivers. Charles Way got to carry and didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a couple.
I think the Giants were trying to, go pass on 1st down and then come back and run on 2nd down. And again, I think this whole thing is really to stay out of the situation that they just gotten themselves into, and that's that 3rd and long, because this, again, is not where they play their best football offensively.
3rd and 9. Tiki Barber in the backfield. Cannell from the shotgun. Cowboys on a blitz. Wide open is Amani Toomer, and a flag on the play.
Now, Monty Toomer, he was out there, and you know that any time that they throw one or going to try and get a 1st down, they're going to throw it on Kevin Smith. Now, someone pushed off here. Was it offense or defense? The Giants are saying it was defense.
Illegal contact. 26. Defense is declined. First down.
These Cowboy fans, I think, are starting to boo Kevin Smith because anytime they're going to work, this is where they're going to work. You see, now he can hit him in the first 5 yards. After 5 yards right there, he can't touch him. And you see what Kevin Smith did? He hit him after he was 5 yards downfield. And then for some reason, at the end, Kevin Smith is running backwards and letting the guys catch in front of him.
First down, this is Gary Brown and another flag. Probably going to be against the Giants.
That's in the area of offensive holding. Anytime the umpire throws one like he did, the umpire is the guy behind the defensive line, and when he throws a ball right in the middle of the line, it's offensive holding.
Holding 78. Offense. Still first down.
78 is Greg Bishop.
78 is Greg Bishop. Like you said, he's the left guard. And he's working on Leon Lett. You see Leon Lett gets his arm in there. I don't know, unless it's his left arm that he hooked Leon Lett. I'm not sure about that, because if that guy throws his arm there, I've always argued you have to be able to clamp down on it. So I don't think what Greg Bishop did initially is wrong.
Three wide receivers, Charles Way looking to the outside, and not much there, nothing there. You pointed out there's a good example of the speed that the Cowboys have on defense. They were there in a hurry.
You know, and the other thing, Leon Lett and some of the positions that he gets himself into, he was saying yesterday, and it's a real interesting thing. He said he learned from Charles Haley that the best pass rush positions are uncomfortable position. If you're in an uncomfortable position, your body is in an uncomfortable position, you're in a good position to run some passer. If you're in a comfortable body position, you're not in a good pass rush position.
That sounds like it would apply to a good golf swing. Here's Cannell, and he gets it downfield, complete to Callaway, who fumbles, and it's picked up by Kenny Wheaton. And the Cowboys recover.
Oh, Danny Cannell did his job. The offensive line did his job. Callaway initially did, again, working on Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith gives the cushion. You can see the ball come in here to Callaway. Kevin Smith comes up. He gets beaten again, but he makes a big play by knocking the ball out there.
All right, captains, we're going to have a coin toss now. If there's a team, we'll call it in the air. We want a good, clean game. We're all professionals here. Does anyone have change for a dollar?
What? Want to get away? Now you can with South.
Pat Summerall with John Madden at Texas Stadium in Irving. It's 6-6, the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. First and 10, Dallas at their own 34. And here's Emmitt Smith. Emmitt outside the 40 with that second effort. Got about 6 yards.
You know, we were talking about Troy Aikman and having to throw the ball in the touch, and how you're always reminded of it. Watch this. You see his right hand is up underneath. His right hand has to take the brunt of the snap. You see the ball as it is snapped right there, so he's going to take a hit on that finger every snap he takes.
Of course, that's the ball then he had to hand off with, or does hand off with, to Emmitt Smith. Second and 3. Giants show blitz. Smith shows him outside. And Emmitt a yard short of a first.
You know, one thing I think that Chan Gailey brought to this team is having Emmitt Smith run more outside. You remember for years when he was gaining all those yards, it was always to the inside. And if you look now, you know, he has pretty good mixture of running inside and outside. Look, he's gone 3 times outside to the left for 45 yards, 2 outside to the right for 34 yards, and 9 inside for 36 yards. So he's run inside more, but he's made more yardage outside to the right and to the left.
He gets another try. He doesn't get enough on this one to get a first down. Hit and knocked back as he tried to go over the top.
Yeah, there was Corey Whitmer, the middle linebacker, in there, and they haven't gotten a lot of movement on this defensive line. I'll say all day that these Giants have been winning this battle. Now, if you can win this battle at the line of scrimmage, then you can let your linebackers come over the top. You see they win, and now here comes Corey Whitmer, and he gets just enough penetration so there's no cutback. You see, you win at the line of scrimmage, get penetration for your linebackers so they can't cut back, then they have to run right into where you won that battle.
So Toby going, his third punt of the day. This is a good one. Monty Zoomer takes it, and he is down at about the 14-yard line by Charlie Williams. 6-6 at Texas Stadium. 8:12 left in the third. 6-6 tie. Tonight, after an all-new World's Funniest, it's the star-studded all-new Simpsons, followed by the funniest That 70s show of the season. Then it's television's biggest event, the X-Files season premiere. All starts tonight at 7, 6 Central here on Fox. The Giants hand the ball to Charles Way, and Chad Hennings chases him down. Flag on the play.
Yeah, and of course it all started with the Leon Lett again getting penetration. That's what we talked about earlier, controlling the line of scrimmage. If the offense wins, you keep the defense on their side. If the defense wins, they get on the offensive side. And Leon Lett was on the offensive side in that play, and that play didn't have a chance.
Holding 78, offense. Still first down.
That's Greg Bishop again.
Right.
That's his second holding penalty in as many series here.
Oh, he's got his finger on ice. Waving ice. Giants backed up down to their own 8-yard line. Cannell will throw it from there, looking. Got hit just as he let it go, and the ball flew out of bounds. George Teague was over closest to him. Callaway, the intended receiver.
And this is the area that I would expect Jim Fossil right now to come back with a conservative play, because this whole game has been about field position.
Yep.
And when you get here, you don't want to give up anything. You don't want to do anything stupid in this area, because their defense did a heck of a job. I mean, they got up here and they had a turnover when Callaway fumbled the ball. Their defense stopped and made the Cowboys punt. But now you don't want to give them a turnover in this area.
Second and long. And there's exactly what you said. Gary Brown, he is wrapped up at about the 10, 11-yard line. They'll bring up third and long.
And this is the type of thing that we were talking about when you run it like this, east and west, and you start off in a sweep. That is not the type of play that is going to go against the Cowboy defense, because they're so quick. I mean, they get so many guys flowing, and as you go, they will go east and west as quickly as you will.
Third and 14.
This is an interesting call here. In fact, they're going to take a timeout and talk about it because the clock was running down. But do you go for a play, or do you still stay conservative?
I think you stay conservative, but they'll have time to think about it. Get a little impatient with both teams for the conservative style that's going on.
Yeah, and what they're doing now is they want the Cowboys to stop them here, so the Giants are going to have to punt the ball to Deion Sanders, and it'll be hard from this position on the field to punt it out of bounds.
Here's a blitz coming. Cannell across the middle, incomplete, or maybe... No, it was incomplete. Incomplete.
And that's what you... excuse me, Pat, I was just going to say, that's what the fans wanted, because that's what they're rooting for, to stop them here. So now they're going to have to punt from this position. In fact, the punter's going to have to punt this ball out of the end zone. And when you punt from this position here, where there's no way he can punt this ball out of bounds.
Why take a chance and throw it in the middle if you're not going to throw it for a first down? I've always wondered about that.
Good point by you.
Brad Maynard. Directional kick away from Deion, but it's right in the middle of the field, or not quite in the middle, but he's got a chance. And there he goes. And there's a flag on the play back at midfield as Sanders gets all the way down, and flags come flying everywhere.
There's 3 flags.
Yep.
3 flags. There's one right here. There's another one out there, and there's another one over in the sideline. These have to be against the Cowboys. In fact, Deion Sanders was saying a couple weeks ago, he said, you know, sometimes when I get the ball, I wish all my guys would just fall down. In fact, Chan Gailey said that the worst thing we can do when they punt the ball to Deion Sanders is have anyone get a penalty.
Chan said just get on somebody and stay on them.
And sometimes if it was Deion Sanders, you're better if it's close not to get on someone. Just let him go and let him beat him.
We have 2 fouls after the change of possession. During the run back, number 31 of Dallas, illegal block in the back. During the return, number 34 of the kicking team, face mask. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of Dallas's foul. First down, Dallas.
George Teague is number 31. There's the block out there.
And there's the block in the back right there. And so then the ball is going to be put at that point. There's Brandon Sanders right there with the face mask.
6-6.
By Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By the new Dodge, it's about change. By Circuit City, answers in every department, low prices all over the store. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste.
6-6, the Giants and Cowboys. Troy Aikman with the injured finger.
This is a pretty good spot to take a shot. First down, good field position.
Outside Emmett Smith. All we can do is look at the Giant defenders facing him, and Marcus Buckley led the pack, but Emmett still got about 4 yards.
And I think that the Cowboys somewhere have to stretch his defense a little. I mean, Aikman is 6 out of 12 now for about 35 yards or so, which for him or for any top quarterback is really nothing. And I think what happens is they're running so much and they're so successful that this Giant defense is tightening up on them. And I think that they got to throw a deep one just to get them back off and to loosen them up a little.
2nd and 6. 6 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. Ernie Mills on the move, and now he comes out of the backfield, and again Aikman fires outside to Emmett Smith. And he's going to be a couple of yards short of the first down.
You know, and they're doing that. That's good coverage by the Giants, because Aikman is trying to get the ball down the field, and on both of these he's had to dump off. You see, one, because it's good coverage downfield, plus it's a little pressure. You see the little pressure right there, and that time clock that these quarterbacks have in their head, that went off, and he knew, I don't have any time to wait for someone to get open downfield. I better get rid of the ball. And the Giant defense made him do that twice in a row.
Emmett's 400th reception of his career. He's got all kind of milestones going on today. Aikman. He's got Mills deep, and Mills has it.
That's the one that I thought that they had to do, and that was a double move by Ernie Mills.
Yep.
That's what you call an out and up. And he was working over there, and he starts on the out. Conrad Hamilton's the corner. Watch him. He's going to come up. Now he's going to make this little move out. You see, just a little move, and then he gets Hamilton to come up thinking that's a move, and then he goes right by him. Those are the things that Ernie Mills can do. He got deep, not with great speed, but by selling Conrad Hamilton that he was going to go short. And then Hamilton came up, and then as he came up, boom, he runs right by him.
And he did very well to hold on to that ball, because Conrad Hamilton had his arm in there.
Right, and Troy Aikman was excited on that one because he knew that he had to loosen that defense up.
Tito Wooten, injured on the last play, just stepped over to the Giants sideline. It's 1st and goal at the 5 for the Cowboys. And it's time for Emmitt Smith, I would think. Emmitt cuts it back and doesn't get back to the 5, but there's a flag on the play.
You know, Emmitt Smith in all-time touchdowns is 5th. He has 124. Walter Payton has 125. So if he scores a touchdown here or anywhere in this game, he will tie Walter Payton. That's pretty good company.
Yes, it is.
And then Jim Brown is only a 2 ahead with 126.
89, offense.
Holding
Still
call
first
against
down.
David LaFleur, the tight end.
Here's a list right here. We see where Emmitt Smith is here at 124. 1 more, he ties Walter Payton. 2 more, he ties Jim Brown. And then he has a little gap in there to Marcus Allen.
Then some work to do to catch Marcus Allen. And Jerry Rice, of course, is still adding to his total.
I mean, that list, those are great. All-time great players.
Emmitt gets another carry. Gets to the outside. And Emmitt Smith cuts inside the 5 and down to about the 4. About the 5, make it. Get up the penalty yard.
That's an interesting play. We talk about how they use Ernie Mills. He caught a big pass, and then they use him as a blocker to get him in a counter. Here's Ernie Mills here. He ends up in the backfield. Then he comes and leads on a counter, makes a little block there. It is a block that sprung Emmitt Smith. But that's his Chan Gailey offense. He uses his wide receivers as blockers.
Second and goal at the 5. Mills again in motion. Emmitt coming left, straight ahead, and he's hit and knocked backwards, hit hard. After he got about a half yard. Hit very hard.
Right, that's the way you want to meet him. I mean, any defensive player wants to meet a running back square in the hole. And watch this. This is exactly what happened. Watch him. He starts in here, and then he just gets met right there squarely.
Strahan was first to arrive on the scene, number 92.
Right, here's Strahan right here. I mean, he comes down. He's the guy that got him from the side. I think it was Corey Whitmer that got him from the front.
It looked like a Whitmer hit. 3rd and 4. 3rd and goal at the 4.
Jesse!
Here's Emmitt Smith. Emmitt hammers to about the 2. They'll make it 4th and goal.
Scott Gallion was in there that time, and he missed first. Then Jesse Armstead came in. But Scott Gallion, he's going to be playing in here. He's going to miss the tackle right there. So he could have had him there. Emmitt made him miss there. Then Jesse Armstead comes in and makes a tackle.
So Richie Cunningham comes on with Eric Bjornson to hold.
I think that was a little too conservative for the Cowboys. I know that they like to run the ball down there, but after you run it once or twice, I think you take a passing shot in the end zone.
The 20. And the Cowboys again lead by 3, 9-6. Nothing but field goals this afternoon at Texas Stadium. As Nate Newton, who, as John said, got a concussion last Monday night, obviously recovered.
I tell you, he's mad at someone about something, and I know what it is. Nate Newton is one of those offensive linemen, like all offensive linemen, that love to run the ball. And when they give you the shot to run the ball and you don't get it in the end zone, then you ought to be upset with yourself and your teammate.
This is Tiki Barber, who takes the line drive kickoff and is tackled, and a flag on the play. Tackled by George Teague.
Now, this is the thing that we say every week, but it seems like almost every coverage, every kick coverage, whether it's a punt or a kickoff, we're seeing a flag.
Yep.
And the other thing that I've noticed is the coverage isn't as good. The tackling's not as good, and I don't know if that's salary cap or whatever.
Block, win the return.
Well, don't you think it is?
91. First down.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think that special teams guys that are cover guys are getting to be an afterthought. I think the teams aren't putting that in there anymore
because the money is tied up in the so-called star players.
Yeah, right. There's the block in the back right there, and that's under a heading of dumb penalties. You put your list. That would be the number one you'd put right there. There's no reason for that.
I guess there would be a place somewhere, sometime, for intelligent penalties. The pass is incomplete. Ike Hilliard had it and dropped it. Guy will catch this one.
Danny Cannell's had some tough breaks. Here we see Ike Hilliard again. They're just working on Kevin Smith, and anytime they run an out or something underneath, they're wide open, and then they just have to hold on to the ball. I mean, he has the ball here. This is close to a fumble because he came close to controlling it. It wasn't a fumble, but remember Callaway had one like that and did fumble it again on Kevin Smith.
Gary Brown, he's off to the races again. Brown pushed out of bounds close to midfield.
Good block by Ron Stone at the point of attack. This is the thing, the line can get him started. Watch Ron Stone. He's a right guard. He's going to get a block here. That'll be the point of attack. Now the line can get him started. They can get him that first 5 yards. See that block right there by Stone? That's what got him through the hole. And then you get the corner come outside, and then this Gary Brown just jumps outside of him.
38-yard run by Gary Brown.
Ron Stone got it all started.
Here's Cannell again, handing off this time to Tiki Barber, and he gets pretty good yardage. Brown 15 carries, 119 yards.
Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones spending a lot of time down on that Cowboy sideline and early. I know why he went down there the first time. That was when Troy Aikman, well, yeah, it was for Emmett, and then when Troy Aikman got hurt, he thinks that he may be able to help that finger out a little, maybe. Like to help this defense out a little now. The Giants are taking it to him.
There comes somebody who wants to make a tackle. That's it. Omar Stoudemire came flying up, and right now for an NFL update, let's return to Joe Buck in Los Angeles.
All right, Pat, in Minnesota, it's a 7-point Viking lead until Robert Smith rolls 61 yards with a Chris Carter convoy. It's a 24-10 Minnesota lead. So many weapons, so many big play guys. No wonder they're 7-1. Back to Dallas and Pat and John.
9-6 at Texas Stadium. The Cowboys leading by 3 as we get down close to the end of the third quarter. 3rd and 8.
We're talking about wide receivers blocking on big plays and runs. The Minnesota does.
Cannell. Incomplete. And now that is good coverage by Kevin Smith. People are after him.
Yeah, Amani Toomer, though, if you're going to run enough, you can't be that close to the sideline. I mean, that was his fault. He gets too close to the sideline. Now, the only place that Danny Cannell can do is throw it short or throw it out of bounds. You see, when you're up that close to the sideline, you don't have any width to the outside. You have to run that thing between the numbers and the sideline. You can never run it up against the sideline.
Even if he had been able to make that catch, he would have been out of bounds.
Right, and there's no place. You don't leave any place for your quarterback to throw. Danny Cannell's playing pretty well.
Yes,
He's not getting a lot of help from his wide receivers.
Brad Maynard. Flag on the play. Might have taken too much time to get it snapped. 14 seconds left. Too much time.
Brad Maynard got a practice kick, and Deion Sanders got a practice catch. And Deion Sanders flung that ball back there pretty good. Now he's dancing. Yep. Deion Sanders in high school was a quarterback. Remember that? Yeah.
Yep.
Offense. Still 4th down.
Some people say in the 90s he's the best athlete of the 90s. They'll argue that Ron Wolf of the Packers is one of them. They'll say that he's a better athlete than Michael Jordan because of what he does in football and what he did in baseball.
I think he has an argument. I'm not sure I would argue with him. Signals fair catch and makes it at the 15.
I think the Cowboys have to go back now, you know, and try and get a couple of first downs here and then loosen it up again the way they did with Ernie Mills, you know, when he made that double move out there, and because the Giants defense is really playing well, and I think the more they run, the more the Giants defense plays the run.
And they have to get a little, I don't know why the defense always is the one to get exhausted, but they have to be getting a little tired. First down. Aikman taking that shot downfield. Incomplete, no flag. Intended for Billy Davis. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score: the Cowboys 9, the Giants 6. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Nine 6. The Cowboys leading, and they have the ball 2nd and 10.
There's Chad Bradsky. He's trying to work on some moves that he can get on Larry Allen. I don't know that there are any because he's out here, and that's kind of an all-day sucker when you're playing against number 73.
Davis in motion. Aikman back to throw it. Outside to Darrell Johnston.
Well, the old Moose doesn't get a lot of them, and the fans don't get it. Unless they watch his blocks, they don't get a lot for that Moose call because his number one thing, as Chan Gailey will say, is to be a blocker. His number 2 is a receiver, and not much of that.
Yep.
And then the third thing is every once in a while, like once a month, we'll give him the ball. Here, see, he starts in a play fake, and again, he just comes off in the flat, but he was the outlet. He wasn't the main receiver in the progression. He would have been the third guy in that progression, that pass pattern.
4 wide receivers. They need 5. Aikman to Deion Sanders. They get the 5 and a first down.
That's the old basketball thing. As you said, no one in the backfield. They had 4 receivers on the other side. Dion back on this side and let him go 1-to-1. You see, all the receivers are here. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Here's Dion back on this side. So they figured, okay, let's get everyone over there, and then we'll get one-on-one with Felipe Sparks back here and Dion. Just let him use his quickness, and then he should have a big part of the field to get the first down.
Which he got. And Emmett Smith gets the carry. Emmett gets up past the 35, about the 36. Picked up a few.
You know, I've always been amazed by Moose Johnston, how, you know, for 10 years he can do this, how he's had neck surgery, and all he is a battering ram. I mean, maybe not so much now because they run outside more, but for all those years he's gone in there and done the grunt work and done the tough blocks, and he does it year after year after year.
You know what amazes me about it is that he usually, almost always, picks the right guy to block.
And then after he picks him, he does something about it.
Aikman gets it to LaFleur, and that's enough for a first down for Dallas.
You know, Chad Bratsky is over there, and he's in a fight with Larry Allen, but it's really tough. I mean, you know, they talk about who's the best tackle, top 3 or 4. To me, this guy is the best offensive lineman, period, in football. And watch, Chad Bratsky's trying to come from the outside, but Larry Allen is just so strong, so powerful. When he gets his hands on you, there's nothing you can do. I mean, he bench presses, listen to this, he bench pressed 600 pounds. I've never heard anyone doing that.
Me either.
And then he just puts those hands on Bratsky, and it's like a 600-pound bench press.
Aikman drops again. Texans gotten better. Aikman hits Billy Davis, and Billy Davis takes a hit, but signals first down. Ooh, he took a wallop.
He really did, but that's what you have to do. You know that you're going to get it anyway when the quarterback leads you in there. He starts, that's that pattern that the Cowboys call a skinny post. And once he got that skinny post and he looked up, there was Ellsworth right there on him.
First down, Cowboys. They move to the Giant 35. That defense of the Giants has been out there a long time.
I don't think he saw Percy Ellsworth, but he knew that there was going to be someone there, and he had to hold on to it.
Here's Emmett again. And he surges to about a yard to 34. Listen to the hit on Billy Davis.
Yeah, he gets inside Felipe Sparks. Percy Ellsworth put on him what you call a knockout punch, but it didn't knock out Billy Davis. One of the secrets to Billy Davis is, you know, not being able to take a knockout punch is his hair. He has his hair bleached.
That's the secret.
And I was talking to him Friday about it. He calls it platinum. The color.
That's not platinum.
No, he says it's platinum. He asked for platinum. His hair should be platinum.
Here's Emmett again. Surges to the 28.
You know, one of the things the Cowboys are doing that I have come more to believe in every week is that you have to loosen up the defense in order to run. It used to be all the time you'd say you have to be able to run the ball and then, you know, to throw it. I think sometimes you have to loosen them up to throw it and then run it. Watch Larry Allen out here on Chad Bratsky. I mean, Bratsky's given him everything he has, but Larry Allen is just too strong for him.
Yeah, it's too big a package.
I mean, you can fight that guy all day, but you're not going to get through him nor around him.
Aikman out of the shotgun. The protection breaks down, and what a catch by Ernie Mills. What a grab by Ernie Mills.
Oh, Ernie Mills is saying it's a touchdown. They're not going to give it to him, though.
Well, what a catch. I don't care if it's a touchdown or not. That's some effort.
And this is what Chan Gailey brought Ernie Mills here for. Ernie Mills is right here. And you watch him. He's just going right through the zone. And Troy Aikman makes a perfect pass. So, I mean, he had a deep guy and a short guy. And he throws it right between them. And now, did the ball break the plane before his knee goes down? His knee's down. Nope, it's that. That's not a touchdown. Although no one did touch it.
No, that's right. You're supposed to be down as a result of contact, and there was no contact.
And that had to be a touchdown.
It had to be. but it's not.
And by Intel, makers of the amazing Pentium 2 processor.
9-6, the Cowboys lead at Texas Stadium. First and goal at the 1.
Troy Aikman was reading the play on his wrist as he went up to the line of scrimmage.
There's Emmitt Smith. This one won't score. In fact, he lost a couple.
But what a throw and what a catch by Ernie Mills.
Yeah.
I mean, that throw, getting it in there was an amazing throw, but that catch that Ernie Mills made was something special.
Unbelievable.
They come in the run, and you see the Giants again have good pursuit. And we talk about it's hard to run outside on the Cowboy defense because of their speed. It's also tough to run a sweep, wide. You can take inside and then bounce out, but it's tough to go east and west against the Giants.
Down in this area, certainly. The pass intended for Bjornson, who makes it. Juggled it momentarily, but touchdown. Aikman to Bjornson.
I'm saying that Troy Aikman's finger's getting better. We talked about that throw that he makes to Ernie Mills that gets him down there, and then he throws a touchdown. And that just was a full play. I mean, that fooled them. They go to play pass, and they know that that when you see Emmitt Smith back here, everyone is playing run. So you fake the run. You bring Bjornson around all the way from the right side. You see that? He lined up in the right, came all the way across the back of the backfield and out the other end.
He'll hold for the extra point. Richie Cunningham is good with the extra point, and the Cowboys move a little further ahead.
Again, play fake to this side. Now here's Bjornson right here. He comes all the way across and sneaks out here. So they play fake to the right. Now watch how this play fake holds the line, everyone. And watch how Bjornson over that left side, he just sneaked right through. In fact, he sneaked between his guard, Nate Newton, and the line of scrimmage. Tough sneak.
6-6. David Patton fields it. Chased and brought down back at about the 10-yard line by Izell Reese. And the Giants will start to operate from deep in their own territory. 16-6. Giant ball at their own 10. Cannell back to throw. Pass caught by Ike Hilliard, who gets out of bounds, stops the clock. 8:28 left.
Well, you don't know who they're going to throw it to, but you know who they're going to throw it against. And again, they just kept working this thing all day. In fact, it's a double coverage now. Now, Kevin Smith, when you have a guy like Darren Woodson inside you, you don't have to go for the inside move. You stay outside. That's why they put Darren Woodson over there to help you.
3 wide receivers, 2 of them to the left this time. Cannell, though, looking right. And the pass is out of bounds, incomplete.
And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Amani Toomer, he's running that up, and he didn't give any room to the sideline. So now if you watch him go up the sideline, there's only one place they can throw. You can't be line up that wide, then take an outside release. Now, the only place that Danny Cannell can throw the ball and complete it is out of bounds. So you can't get this close. You got to run. You got to be out in this area so the quarterback can throw over here. There's no way that you can run that pattern up the sideline.
2nd and 10. Swings it out to Charles Way, and Kevin Smith is up to hit Charles Way as soon as he makes the catch.
Kevin Smith's upset.
Yeah. Minnesota 24-17 in the 4th over New Orleans. Atlanta beating New England badly. And Atlanta, people keep saying, are they for real? I guess they are.
Yeah, and they're tied with the 49ers in that division. And then the 49ers are now playing today without Steve Young.
Yeah. 3rd
playing
and
Carolina.
3rd and 9. Here's Cannell. Again, he looks in the right direction, over the middle, pass complete to Callaway. Chris Callaway at midfield or close to it.
And that was on Deion Sanders. You know, if there is anything that you can get on Deion Sanders, it's an in pattern. Now, the first thing you have to do is you have to be able to block. Now, the offensive line has given Danny Cannell plenty of time there.
Yeah.
And now you see here, if there's anything that people can run on, is just keep coming across the field on Deion Sanders. Because at some point, he usually slows up.
Cannell again, incomplete, no flag. Howard crossed the intended receiver, Coakley.
I think that's the first pass that they've thrown to Howard Cross today. And we were talking earlier about how Jim Fossil feels that if he's going to have a complete offense, he feels good about his wide receivers, but he feels that he needs a pass receiving tight end. I still think he needs a wide receiver that scares you, because there's no one on this Giant offense that scares you.
Speed. 2nd and 10. Cannell back to throw it. Now this time he is down, sacked. Leon Lett, Greg Ellis. Not Leon Lett. Greg Ellis was first there.
Greg Ellis was there, the rookie, and then Leon Lett also. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, Danny Cannell has to throw the ball so they know. And the way this thing started, it was kind of ugly. I mean, there's confusion. Strickland's falling down. Substitutions not right, but they finally got it right, and then they got the pass rush here.
So it was Lett and Ellis.
Yeah, Leon Lett was the guy that really got the penetration that Cannell felt first.
They showed blitz, early blitz, and here it comes to Cannell, and the pass is short and incomplete. David Patton, the intended receiver, covered by Deion Sanders.
I'll tell you, Danny Cannell really got it there. He gets it from the back, and then he gets it from the linebacker. Dexter Coakley is the guy that's going to finish him off. Watch him come from this side. He's on what we call a spy, and then when the back blocks, Coakley takes off. He really had a shot there at Cannell. It could have been a bigger shot on him than it was.
Randall Godfrey came from the other side. Brad Maynard back to punt it. 16-6 Dallas.
Deion Sanders won't return this punt. Deion Sanders looks like he's dead tired, doesn't he?
Maybe that's a decoy. No. Maynard, good kick. That ball bounces. And now see where it's lined up at the 6. Yeah, that's where the Cowboys start from. 6-yard line. Leading 16-6. Back at Texas Stadium, Pat Summerall, John Madden, 16-6. The Cowboys lead the Giants. 1 touchdown in this game. Mike, bet by Eric Bjornson.
I was just going to say Mike Kieslak is in at center now for the Cowboys. He was Doug Flutie's center in Canada. That's his claim to fame. What a story Doug Flutie is.
Smith, the ball carrier, gets outside the 10 with a struggle. And right now for an NFL update, let's return again to Joe Buck in Los Angeles.
All right, thank you, Pat. Vikings up by 7 at the New Orleans 5 until this. Sammy Knight, say goodnight. 91 yards back the other way. The interception return for the touchdown. It's a 24-24 game early in the 4th quarter. Back to Dallas, Pat and John.
Nate Newton shaken up on the last play.
Well, you know, we talked about last week. He got knocked out and had to come out of the game. Here he is here, the left guard. You see, he's just blocking there. Everything looks okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he just fell down and had a hard time getting up.
That could be. I could understand that.
But he looks okay.
Limping to the sideline. But
last week he was telling me he got knocked out, went off on the sideline, and he was supposed to pull. And the coach said, "What do you do on 39?" And he goes, "Wait." He said, "I don't know about 39." He said, "Go over the whole offense with me." And he said, the coach said, "Go sit down." Then he sat down where the quarterbacks sit, and he said he couldn't stop crying. He said he just sat there and cried the whole rest of the game.
So Shiver comes in, and Kieslak moves over to guard. They give to Emmett Smith. And Emmett tried to cut it back to the outside, got to about the 10, and here comes Nate back.
So whatever was wrong with Nate, he waddled back in again.
Well, you asked
he got okay.
Yes, Chant Gailey yesterday, how was Nate playing? And he said he's getting the most he can out of a body that's been in this league a long time. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, it's a battle between the two top teams in the NFC West as the 49ers clash with the surprising Falcons. Then Brett Favre and the Packers head to New York to take on these Giants, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. Check your local listings. By the way, Atlanta's winning over New England 38-10 now.
Yeah, we were talking about the Giants and their problems, and I think all their problems started when they lost Jason Sehorn. And, you know, he was such a good player that he allowed that defense last year to do the same things the Cowboys do. I mean, where Jason Sehorn could take a receiver and let their other 10 defenders play against the 9 offensive guys.
3rd and 5. Aikman with Nate Newton protecting. Gets the ball out. And complete to Ernie Mills. And that'll be enough for a first.
Felipe Sparks is saying there's no way. He thought he heard a double thump.
Yep.
When that ball comes in there, if you hear one thump, that's the guy catching it. If you hear a double thump, that's the ball hitting the ground and the guy catching it. Yeah, Ernie Mills runs a pretty good pattern.
Yes,
now.
he does.
And Sparks was saying that he didn't catch it, that the ball hit the ground. I don't know. I can't see the ball hitting the ground.
I can't either. That doesn't mean it didn't.
I couldn't see it not hitting the ground either.
That's right. Here's Emmett, left side for 2 or 3. He was down as they pulled the ball loose. There's a pretty good story. Number 76, Flozell Adams, who's the number 2 draft choice for the Cowboys. Normally, and was in college, a tackle, but they moved him into guard, and he stayed there.
Yeah, and I think eventually he's going to be a tackle, though. I mean, you know, 6'7". There are some tall guards in this league, like Kevin Gogan in San Francisco and stuff. But normally, a tall guy, when you're 6'7", 6'8", you have a tough time playing at guard, but you're more made for a tackle. And if you really look at this team, I mean, Larry Allen is built more like a guard, and Flozell Adams would be built more like a tackle.
Troy Aikman in the second half, 10 out of 11, 125 yards, the 1 touchdown of the game, even with that bad finger.
Yeah, and he's gotten the accuracy, and when he gets accurate, there's no one more accurate than Troy Aikman. And whatever was bothering him and Danny Cannell too in the first half didn't bother him in the second half.
I was talking to him before the game, and the fact that the field was wet was really bothering him. You could tell that.
Well, whatever he got in his head, he got out of his head.
Yes, he did. Screen pass. That's to Emmett. Near the 30. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation, but the clock continues.
And you know, the thing that's impressive about Troy Aikman's second half is and you know, all those completions he had, he's completed to a lot of different guys. I mean, the thing, they're not one-dimensional. In fact, I don't think Michael Irvin caught one. I mean, he had 6 different receivers at one time, and Michael Irvin wasn't one of those 6 different receivers.
Keep in mind that the Giants have used all of their timeouts. So even if they do get the ball, they got to do everything by running out of bounds or spiking it. Here's Emmitt Smith, and Emmett gets close to the first, and I think he might have gotten it.
Yeah, and they're still working that left side. I mean, here's Nate Newton, here's Larry Allen. If you get in a short yardage situation, this is the area you want to go in. You see Larry Allen blocks down, Nate Newton pulls, and they run a cross block, and then the hole is right between Larry Allen coming down, Nate Newton kicking out on that cross, and Emmitt Smith just hits the middle of the cross.
And got the first down. It's 1st and 10, 3:02, 3 minutes left now. And again, the Giants out of timeouts. 16-6, Dallas leads by 10. Snap the ball with a second to go, and here's Emmitt Smith. Cuts it upfield.
Yeah, but that's not a smart play. I mean, Emmitt Smith has done a lot, and he's broken a lot of records, but what the Cowboys are trying to do now is keep the clock going. And the worst thing you can do is run out of bounds. He would have been better just by falling down in the backfield. But the
clock's still running, John.
Well, that's in the... Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. We're in Texas Stadium. Maybe that's what it is. Second and 7. Obviously, he didn't get out of bounds. Mills in motion. They snap it with 1 second to go. And here's Emmitt Smith again. And Emmitt close to the 40, and we'll get the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go. And the Cowboys leading New York by 10. This was a must-win game for the Giants. 2 minutes left. Dallas 16, the Giants 6. Third and about 2, it looks like, maybe 3.
Well, you say the Giants don't have any more timeouts.
Right.
So the Cowboys need a first down here, and then they can run the clock out.
And here it is. Emmitt Smith behind the trap block. Emmitt gets the first down.
And I think now they could probably take Emmitt Smith out because he's done his work for the day. And in fact, they all have, and let someone else just run the clock out here now. In fact, Emmitt's starting to walk off the field. I don't know if anyone has come in for him yet.
Here comes Chris Warren.
Chris Warren's coming in now. What a day he's had, though. Well, this has to be, you talk about a memory and making a memory, and you know, you want to do it on a game when you're playing at home and when you win the game.
And now the Cowboys will just run it out. Today's game being produced by Bob Stinner, directed by Sandy Grossman. Associate Director Mike Roig. The broadcast associates are Fran Morrison and Charles McDonald. Technical producers Bob Mueller. Studio was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The Associate Director Jennifer Love. The senior producers Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports Ed Gorin and David Hill. That's in the Ring of Honor. Tony Dorsett, whose records were broken today by Emmitt Smith. What a career he's had.
Yep, and Jerry Jones down there with him, PR Director Rich Dalrymple. Everyone congratulating Emmitt Smith, and now he has the record. He broke Tony Dorsett's record. Troy Aikman already has a record. He broke Roger Staubach's record, not today, but he had. And Michael Irvin has a receiving record that Drew Pearson once had. So the triplets have all the records. And that guy there is a big help to getting records too, isn't he, Larry Allen?
Ever. How anyone could put a list of offensive tackles or offensive linemen and not have Larry on it is beyond me. Coming up, this play of the game is brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
I think if you have a play of the game today, it has to be this guy, Emmitt Smith. What a day, what a career, and it's a day that he broke the all-time rushing record of the Dallas Cowboys. This is a play he did it on.
That's the record run, and there's what happened to the ball. And right now, let's go down to Susie Colbert, who has Troy Aikman.
Big day for Troy Aikman, but first let's take inventory. The shoulder and how's the finger?
The finger's going to be okay. They did x-rays. There's nothing broke, but they don't know about the ligaments and stuff, and I wasn't able to get a real good grip on the ball, and it was causing some problems. And fortunately, I was able to still come back and make a few throws there in the second half.
You'll be careful with this week and then make a decision for next week, or
no? I'll be back next week. If I finish this ball game, I'll be ready to go next week against Arizona.
The offensive line did a great job of really holding off the Giants. They really came at you hard today.
Well, they did. And they're an aggressive style of defense, and our offensive line came off and got on people. Emmitt Smith right behind you. He had a heck of a day running the football. He's a great back, and anybody that questioned that coming into this season, I think he's answered those questions.
Well, let's take a second here to congratulate Emmitt. When Emmett was 20 years old, he walked in here, he looked up, he saw the names. Today, you are the Dallas Cowboys' all-time leading rusher. Is the real thing as good as the dream?
You know, I think winning this game made everything complete so far. But the season is yet over. We have a long way to go. I'm thankful for the opportunity to do it today in front of the home crowd. I'm thankful for Jerry Jones for giving me the opportunity to play here as a Dallas Cowboy. I'm thankful for Tony for setting the milestone so high and giving me something to reach forward to. And most important than that, I thank God for giving me the talent to come down here and do all that I do every Sunday. I try to do the best I can. That's all I can ask of myself.
So many people had written you off, especially last season. How great does it feel to come back out here, silence everyone, and how much you're enjoying this system this season?
You know, it doesn't matter what everybody say. Jesus is the one got the final word over everything. So, you know, he gave me the strength this year to come on out and do the best that I can. My linemen are back healthy. They're doing good. They're playing well. The system itself is set up where all of us can have some success. It's different than it was last year or the past 2 years. And that right there in itself is good motivation to push us forward and to continue to give us that drive to go on and be successful and try to win more championships for this organization.
You and Troy and Michael breaking all the records. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Send it back upstairs to Pat.
All right, Susie. So for John Madden, I'm Pat Summerall saying so long from Texas Stadium, where the final score is the Cowboys 16, the Giants 6. And we'll send you back to the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles with Joe Buck and Ron Pitts with some final thoughts after these messages.
We asked the heart.
Check on that Dallas-New York Giants game and the victory for the Dallas Cowboys, 10 points. We will end up sending you back to Big Dallas with the guys. The high rent district is down in Dallas, and Ron Pitts, the victory for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it was, and I think, you know, Emmitt Smith wanted to come out. He had over 100 yards rushing just in the first half. It was clear that he had a mission, he had a goal.